Right.
That's the kayak of an Orthodox does, you know? Right. Yeah.
How are you? كم صغير يا هون تلك على قلت يا جماعة
I didn't call your brother because my phone broke today.
Hey,
Got more.
hey. I was
I
gonna
need
be.
his number. This is getting. I don't call the contact.
تلك على
I got the phone right now.
Who is this?
David.
Thank you. Take over.
David Lerner, yeah.
347
What?
356
Yeah.
7080.
So Baruch Hashem, we lost
Three,
his
five,
telephone left dedicated. So
Yeah.
no, go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
I wish I could lose my telephone.
It's good, but it's looking at the guy that is Stanford, when you got your answer. He said, it looks on the room, it's so fever. How's it? How's he know the Shema last night? It's easy what you have to phone.
Yeah. Rabbi say. Simin Samach Vav. Simin Samach Vav. Page Amud Reish Chavav. Dinim be'eze mokem yochel lahafsik.
What is?
Samach Vav. No, it's like Reish.
Be'eze
mokem
yochel
lahafsik be'eze mokem lo yafsik or boy gimel sifim. Aleph. Av bish also sape biches Krias Shema fibel de betoyla fibel lashon hakodesh. Even though you're not allowed to middle Krias Shema, even though in the brachas of Krias Shema, you're not allowed to talk divrei Torah, even if you're saying the divrei Torah lashon kodesh, holy language, and I'm saying Torah.
No.
However, hitiru sheila shalom.
Yeah.
No, Kabel.
No, it's very it's cold over here. It's
cold.
sure.
קח איזה כוס תה, משהו חם.
Kates hitiru sheila shalom pnei yira, or pnei kavod, or pnei darkei shalom. There are times that Chazal said, even it's not for Torah purposes, you're allowed to ask sheila shalom, whether it's yira, kavod, or darkei shalom. And we're going to see the Prati Hadinim right now. Ketzad. Bein Perek LePerek.
I have a question. Are there certain parts in the Shema in case of an emergency, is it more preferable to ask somebody a question?
Yeah, there are. But if it's an emergency, you ask right away.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Ketzad. Bein Perek LePerek.
So.
Shoyel Mishloim Adam Nichbad Vei Kvoidei. The Gemara Yishalmi, it's brought in Tosfos, has an example. Eizahu Chaset Shaita, that he sees a woman drowning. He says, "Oh, I can't save her because I can't
touch a woman.
Can't touch a woman." So Chazal say this is a Chaset Shaita, right?
Yeah.
So we can't. If it's an emergency, whatever you need to do, you do right away.
Yeah.
No cheshbonis.
Yeah.
Because that's the psak Torah.
He forget כל המקיים נפש אחת, כאילו קיים עולם מלא. He forget this pasuk. The guy doesn't save this woman.
Yeah. Now, Shoyel Bein Perek LePerek. Between each Perek in Shema, between Misharecha v'Hoyim Shemaya, between Laman Yirbu and Vayomer, between Perek LePerek, and also during the brachas, between each bracha,
Like
we're going to see.
One example is if somebody had
between each brachas, or between different parts of Shema, it's called Bein Perek. The Perek has a lighter halachic status than Be'emsa HaPerek. We're going to see now.
One example could be if somebody had a child and they needed to instruct them a certain way, they needed to say something. They should wait until in between the paragraphs, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to talk, I mean, really you shouldn't talk, but we'll talk soon. Yeah, shouldn't talk. Somehow hint to him. Now, Shoyel b'shleim adam nichbad v'pnei kvoidei. Umeish shalom chaladim pedak shalom. So the lowest level, being pedek lepedek, you're allowed, if someone says to you, Shalom Aleichem Rabbi Yid, what's machstu? And you're in the middle of Krias Shema, you're not going to respond. He might be nifga. He might be upset. He doesn't know why you're. So meishiv shalom v'chol adam. You're allowed to answer back. Baruch Hashem, Aleichem Hashalom. You answer back to him, but you're not allowed to ask him. You're not allowed to go to him and say to him, Shalom Aleichem. You're not shoyel, but you can be meishiv shalom v'chol adam. But shoyel mipnei hakavod. If it's someone that you're chayiv to have covered for, either because he's your rebbe, a talmid chochem, he's your parent, someone you chayiv to have a covered for, so then you're allowed to ask even on your own initiative. If it's bein perek leperek, to ask, you could hold your place and say, "Oh, Shalom Aleichem, how are you?" You're shoyel to the person. Umuter lishel b'shleim hakoidei af b'shiyadeish itzarech lahashavlei. Now, you're allowed to ask someone. You see someone reading Krias Shema. If you're going to ask him how's he doing, he's going to answer you in the middle of Krias Shema, because Meishiv Shalem l'chol Adam. In Parak, you can answer anyone. You're allowed to. You're allowed to ask someone, even though you know
He's going to answer you.
he's going to answer you. Umi shloiri inu shiyak b'rechaveda klal liyasif filu ben haprakim. If you know your chaver, and he's not going to be bothered at all, because he's a frum yid, he knows that you're in the middle of Krias Shema, he understands. He's not going to be upset with you. If you know he's not at all going to be upset with you, you don't have to be mafsik. It's only a case where you're concerned that possibly he might be upset, he might be makbid on you. Then we have to be concerned. But if you know, I know this guy, he's not going to be upset with me, you don't have to be mafsik.
In a case where
Afilu beina prakim. Even if you're in between the prakim, if you know he's not makbid, you don't have to say anything.
in a case where somebody's not too familiar with the Krias Shema, he's not sure about the place. Am I allowed to go over to him during Krias Shema and show him the correct place? Or no?
You're not speaking. We're talking with the speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, ube'emsa haperek. That's the halacha in perek leperek. Ube'emsa, when you find yourself in the middle of the bracha, or in the middle of the parasha of Shema. Shoyel, we go up a level. Shoyel b'shloim, it's a stricter level, more chomer. Shoyel b'shloim adam mishuhu yara mimenu. Shoyel, it's called shoyel mipnei hayira. Kigayin aviv, shenemer by ish imi v'aviv tiro, or rabbi, she'amru by moide rabach k'meide shemayim, or meishe shal m'chal nichbet. Veina prakim, when you're be'emsa perek, you're not allowed to respond to a regular person.
Mm-hmm.
A regular person comes and asks you something, you're in the middle of the bracha, in the middle of the parsha, you don't answer him back. And you are only shoyel someone if for yira purposes, because you're afraid. But not, some of your chayiv to have yira, but not just for honor. B'chol tamid chacham shu muflik b'doirei. I have a bisheni rabbi who gamkim b'chal moira. The Alter Rebbe is going to clarify, when do we say moira and when do we say covet? When do we say these two terms? If you have a Talmud Chacham, he's muflik b'doirei. Everyone knows in this generation he's very unique.
Offensive.
Yeah, and there's many people like that in every generation, right? You have 100 people, 200 people in this generation that they're very muflik b'doirei. They're very unique. So all these individuals that they're very big paiskim, big Rosh Hashiva.
Yeah.
So they're famous. Such individuals, even if you never learned by them any Torah, you never went to any of the shiurim, you never read their svarim. Still in all, hugam kim b'chlal moira. You have a din of yira for these individuals.
But my question,
Moira rabba, made a Shema. For these individuals, because they're the Talmud Chacham of the Dor. One second, let's just finish. He's not a but actually Godim and Bechachma. However, he's a greater Talmud Chacham than you. He knows more Torah than you. He's not famous. He's not. Einei b'chalal moira, elo b'chalal kavod. The top of page Reish Chav Zayin. Ava makoyre Godim imenu in mafsek loy. Elo kamoy l'shar kol adam af b'ishu Talmud Chacham. If the koyre, the one who is reading Shema, is greater than the one who's being mafsikim, he doesn't have any chiyuv of kavod here. Let's say the Rav of a shul, a big Talmud Chacham. He doesn't have any chiyuv of kavod or yira. People were asking him. Okay, they have for him.
Exactly. People.
So he can never be mafsik. Only k'may l'shar kol adam. Afa b'ishu Talmud Chacham. Even that individual is a Talmud Chacham, but he's in a much different level. So he's not need to be mafsik, only to be meishiv l'chol adam bein haprakim. Because any other individual, even that individual is a Talmud Chacham, but for him, he's greater than that person. Gadol mimenu b'chachma, so he doesn't not mechuyev to answer him. Only he has to treat him like everyone else. That the din is bein haprakim meishiv l'chol adam. So if someone comes to this Rav, this Rosh Hashiva, this place, and says the middle Shema, Shalom Aleichem, if he's bein haprakim, he should answer. Because meishiv shalom l'chol adam, feidarke shalom. Every single person. In the middle of the parak, he can't respond.
my question is, if he's his rabbi, he sees him saying Shema, he would not go with him. He knows the dinim. If he's Gdol Ador, he's in the shul, you see people davening.
Come to Chabad house and seeking one hour of worship. And you move one answer, they come to stop the.
You're right. In general, you're right.
In the middle of Shmona, so they move me.
In general, the shaila is not so negeya in our shuls.
Right.
We know that, in general, we know in the shul, we know the halacha. We have the status of mish to yakbid achavedi klal. We know that if we're not going to respond in the middle of Shema, our Rabbi is not going to be upset. He sees you're in Krias Shema. He knows why you're not responding to him. But if for whatever reason you might feel this person is an Amaretz, or he doesn't know for some reason, he doesn't Mason Lev, whatever it is, and he came over to you, and you think maybe he's going to be a little Meishiv Shalom B'chol Adam, you can respond to him only Bein Haprakim. So if you're Bein Haprakim, you're in between the brachis, in between the parshias, in those areas you can respond to him. Yeah, Lechem Shalom.
No schmoozing. No,
Shmooze, but greet him. To greet him. I have to be the nusach in Lashon Kodesh, but probably you could say any nusach, he says to you something, you say, how are you? If he continues on, okay, I'm in Shema now. Point him in the middle of the bracha. But this way, it feels okay. Okay, he didn't ignore me. He responded to me.
What a group.
I would assume this refers even to a goy, by the way.
A goy for sure.
Meisha Shalom B'chol Adam.
A goy for sure.
Yeah, you know that.
A goy is for sure a goy. Because can be Chilul Shem Shamayim. A goy don't understand Shema, no Shema. It's Chilul Shem Shamayim.
Would a greeting also be a handshake too? Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I think so too.
Handshake is easy, you know.
You're not speaking.
You can do it even like bands, no year, no nothing.
Like we learned last week. Yeah, we learned last week that the only time you're not allowed to do any remuzim or anything is only during Shema and Baruch Shem. Because that's the Ikar Kabbalah Samach
So,
Shemayim.
so in the during Krias Shema, to avoid speaking, if somebody comes over to me, I should try to refrain from even shaking the
I'm sorry, the
hand.
Parasha Rishonim. Till Visharecha. Till
Okay, got
Visharecha, you should not motion with your hands
Got it.
or wink or make anything
Okay.
from Shema until Visharecha.
Okay.
But afterwards, Mikam Ve'elach Mutter, we learned last week, the Tzorich Mitzvah Ktsas.
Got it. Okay.
Tzorich Mitzvah Ktsas, you could be from then on. If it's a Tzorich.
But it's better to hint than to answer.
Yeah. Beis, Kol Makim Shemut Lahafsik Be'emsa Perek Mutter Afilu Be'emsa Posuk. If it's mutter in middle of the perek,
All the way.
let's clarify what does it mean middle of the perek. It means even in the middle of the pasuk. You can stop in the middle of the pasuk. If you need during be'emsa perek, remember what's mutter. The easy way to remember. You always remember what's mutter beina prakim. Beina prakim, shoyel mepnei hakovet, meisha shalom b'chol adam. When you go up to emsa perek, is a next madrega,
Higher.
which is meishiv mipnei hakovet, shoyel mipnei hayira, or meishiv mipnei hakovet. Shoyel mipnei hakovet now becomes aser. Meishiv shalom b'chol adam you can't do anymore. Because Shoyel, you already were not allowed to do Ben HaPrakim. Only thing you're allowed to do is Meisha to respond. Now you're going to Be'emsa, so Kol Adam is nothing. Be'emsa. But you can now, that you're able to be Shoyel Pnei HaKavod, in Perek now is only Meishiv. And Shoyel Pnei HaYira. So it's even Be'emsa. Pasuk Chutzi, Pasuk Shema Yisrael, Shaviyafse Boi Klal, Imloi Vishu Yarim Hashem Yihargenu. Who adin the Balashtin Krem Chulavad, Shagam who Bechlal Hayichud, Vitamze in Lahafsik Gam Kim Bein Shema La Balashim. From Shema till Va'ed, no hafsik at all. Unless you're scared for your life. You're scared for your life, you're mafsik. Other than that, no hatat in mafsik from Shema till Va'ed. In between them, or in between the words, it doesn't matter where. The Zohar says, Shema is Yichuda Ilah. And Baruch Shem is Yichuda Tata. There are different levels of Yichud, of Achdus. There's Hashem Echad. Va'ed is the same letters as Echad, the Chilufei Asvan. We switch the letters around. The Dalet and the Dalet you have them both. And the Vav and the Aleph come from the same Shoydish in the mouth, the vav and the avoid and the aleph echad, and the ches and the ayin also come from the garin, from the throat. Those letters are interchangeable. The vav and the aleph, vav, otiot haba, and this is otiot hagarin, and these are yeah. And so Va'ed shows it's not direct Achdus. It's only an Achdus that's Behelen, because you don't say it clearly. It's with a exchange of letters you have Echad, but it's not direct. So Baruch Shem is also the concept of Echad, but it's a step down. That's why the Zohar says that Shema Yisrael is Yichud Ilah, the higher level of Yichud. Baruch Shem represents a lower level of Yichud.
אבל בין ברוך שם ל"ואהבת" גם אסור.
שם הוא בגדר בין הפרקים.
נקרא בין הפרקים? זה נראה לי כביכול, כי אסור, שום דבר עד שלא התחלת "ואהבת", אסור להגיד כלום.
לא כך כתוב כאן.
זה גם מה שאני מתפלל, אני רואה שלא כתוב פה כאן, אבל נראה לי...
אולי משברורה כתוב אחרת.
הוא הדין לברוך שכבוד מחוץ ללומבוי.
Right, from Shema till Va'ed, but not between Va'ed and V'hafta there's בין הפרקים. Has a gather בין הפרקים. V'yesh oimrin, Shafilu be'emsa shar apsukim leyafsik alabasiyim ingen. Some say no. Be'emsa shar pasuk you should be'emsa middle of a pasuk you should never interrupt. Avaloi be'emsa ingen. I'm sorry, not in the middle of psukim. You could be mafsik, but it has to be the ending of an idea in the pasuk, like where there's a comma, a snachta, where there's the ending of an idea. Then you could, but not in the middle of something. Kegoin pasuk v'samtem yochol hafsik bein nafshechem ukshartem. You can make a hefsik between nafshechem ukshartem shu ingen acher. It's another idea. Aval ad nafshechem leyafsik beitelo teva shu be'emsa ha'ingen. Vim pasuk according to this yesh oimrim choyze l'tchilas ha'pasuk. Sheheich yasful me'emsa ingen shaliyah pirush klal advarav. So if someone stops in the middle, according to this shita, you have to go back. When you mafsik, you have to go back to the beginning of the ingen, to the beginning of the pasuk. What should we do, la'alacha l'maisa? We have two shitas here. First shita says you're mafsik even in the middle of a pasuk, no matter where. Second shita says no, only in the seam of the ingen. Only in maisa, halacha l'maisa. Shemafsik aniyas kadesh kedusha u'baruchu k'maishis bar yachal hafsik afil be'emsa ingen. Liv semecha b'alei svari shayna shvichilku b'kach. V'tiru b'chol ingen u'kedai heim lismech aleim atzorich mitzvah rabba kazu. Im efshel amar lagil l'sim ingen v'lanis amatzibur. So he says like this. When it comes to Kaddish, Kedusha, and Baruch Hu, it's a mitzvah rabba. So we have two shittas, will be meko like the first shitta. But now that you were mafsik for Baruch Hu and Kedusha, in the middle of the pasuk, and in the middle of the ingen, when you finish, go back to the beginning of the pasuk. To be choishish for the second opinion. Shechoizer l'makom shepasak, now already it's not a mitzvah rabba. Now you're continuing Krias. Yeah, so if you have Baruch Hu, you're in the middle of Shema, you hear Baruch Hu. You have a chiyuv to answer. So we're going to go like the first shita, that in the middle of a pasuk, in the middle of an no matter where you are, stop, answer Baruch Hu, Amin Hishmerabba, the Amin of the Minimum Alma Amin, the Amin Shemei Tefillah, the Amin Mela Kaddish, all those that we have at Dvarim Shebekdusha, and from Kaddish Baruch Yimlich, and the Amin at Kela Kaddish. Those three, not Nakdisha. Nakdisha just means Nakdisha, let us be Mekadesh.
Introduction.
Right. That's what we don't say it by a Volotzin, by the way. On the Kaddish. Because I'll tell you why. Because a Volotzin, and as well by here we're talking about the Malachim. The Malachim are doing it. Nakdishach is we should be Mekadesh. Nakdishach unaritzach. So that we don't not mafsik for that in middle of Shema. But we're mafsik wherever you are. You stop right there, cold turkey, b'mazakt. You say it. But when you go, now that you're finished, now there's no Indian that you have to rely on the first shita. Now be chayish in the second shita. Go back to the beginning of the pasuk where you're holding. Say the pasuk properly. Should not be in the middle of a pasuk. Suddenly a whole story comes out in the middle of a pasuk.
Listen, אני כל הזמן עם ספק. אתה באמצע קריאת שמע, אתה שומע קדיש. אני נוהג לענות 5 אמינים ראשונים. השאלה היא, אתה יכול להפסיק עד שעוברים 5, או להמשיך לקרוא...
הלכה ה', yeah.
אוקיי.
גימל, אם שוכח הניח, שאלה טובה. אם שוכח להניח ציצס ותפילין. You didn't put yet on ציצס and tefillin. What should you do now that you're middle of Krias Shema? You want to put on tefillin and talis. Shachach is a little bit of a case which doesn't seem too common.
He's in Shema.
But let's say he didn't have it. He didn't have his talis, his tefillin. Someone borrowed it, someone bringing it, and he wanted it down with him again. B'chalal, let's say he doesn't even have time after davening, he has to go run to work. So now he has his talis and tefillin arrived at him, and he's in the middle of Birchas Kiyishma. What should he do? Between the chapters, there you can say laniach tefillin, amitzas tefillin. If there's a choyva likus spala ben kedei lekabel son shemayim mafla nichi v'ala gamkin. About tzitzis, eina choyvas haguf. Shein talis patim tzitzis yachol likris ve'ein k'meidei sheker. Kivin shein olav talis achiyavas tzitzis. Also the has b'chasim afil mein aprakim kiyishma. But the leish my bracha afil mashmi yivara v'chein yishnei galach on the What the Alter Rebbe says is very interesting. The first shita says there's no differentiation. Tzitzis, tefillin, you're bein aprakim, put it on and make a bracha, everything kiragin. However, the second shita says no. There's a difference in tefillin and tzitzis. Tefillin is a chayvas haguf. Tzitzis is a chayv of the beged, not a chayv of the guf. If you don't not wearing a dalet for the beged, you don't have to wear tzitzis. We wear tzitzis because we want to wear tzitzis. We want the mitzvah tzitzis. We want to mechayev ourselves in tzitzis. Well, the Maisa, you're not chayev to wear tzitzis. So, and furthermore, in Krias itself, a second chiluk, Krias, we say, Kshartim lo'ois al yadecha, v'hoi tavis menecha. Where's your tefillin? Ki iloi made in the sheker. You're supposed to have tzitzis. It doesn't say. It says by Yomer.
Yeah.
If you have conflict,
It says it by Yomer, but you're not chayiv to words. You're not made in the sheker. That's an akuda, really.
מה החילוק בעצם?
That's what he's really saying. It's really one reason.
Yeah, but what is
It's really one reason he's saying.
Yeah, but what is the chiluk between? Actually, what is the real chiluk? Put it this way. Because the tzitzi, you say also, ועשו להם ציצי על כפי בגדיהם. You say chiluk.
Right. But he's saying the chiluk is, but if I don't put on a beged, it's only if I have a beged with dalet
I
kamfit.
understand, but still,
So if I'm not wearing it, I'm not.
I understand, but still mentioning a parasha that dealing only with that.
Einachanami. But so that's Wasabi, the first shita holds. Like you said, the first shita says no chilik, tzitzis, tefillin. You can be mafsa ben aprakim. Second shita says no. Tefillin, you're a b'chi of aguf to wear it. You're considered Eid Sheker. Tzitzis, I'm not Eid Sheker if I'm not wearing it. It's not Eid Sheker. So therefore, put it on. But after davening Shemini Esrei, hold the tzitzis in your hands, you mashmish bahen, yivarech. He says.
But what about when you do the shaftem al ba'anecha, you take the tzitzit and you put it here and just
Yeah, you can do that.
But you don't have if you don't have
Didn't make a bracha.
but if you don't have the tzitzit,
It's not a chiyuv. It's a minhag.
you're not hopech ledin. You do it.
So the Maisa, by the way, every morning that's what we do. We put on the tzitzis in the morning. We can't make a bracha on it yet. We're getting dressed in the morning. The hands are tummy.
You mean tzitzit katan?
Yeah, talis cotton. So what do? Wait till they get up, till they after fully dressed, they wash their hands, say bracha, say on tzitzis. So what do? You hold the tzitzis in your hand and make the bracha. So in order to make it over lasiyason, you mashmish b'tzitzi yosef. So over here also says the second shita, put on the talis. Just wait for the bracha till after Shemini. So you'll mamashish b'tzitzi yosef, you make the bracha. So that Alter Rebbe said that's shita. You should go by the second shita.
Oh. So let's say, for argument's sake, I forgot my talis at home. I was really tired. I just had my tefillin. My wife comes. The shaliach tzibor is in the middle of the Shema. So the Alter Rebbe says, by the time she comes in, I go outside and pick up my talis from her. They're going to be in the Shema. The Alter Rebbe says, don't wait until the paragraph is over. don't wait for an opportunity. Wait till after the Shemona Esrei, right?
You should put it on. Just don't make a bracha.
I should put it on, but no
No bracha to after Shemona Esrei.
no bracha till after Shemona Esrei. Okay, got it.
Put it on right away. Yeah. I think you have to do bein haprakim to put it on.
Okay, got it.
Saying to wear it also is a hefsek. This whole thing that you're doing of putting on the talis should wait till bein haprakim.
Okay, got it.
According to the first shita, you could also say the bracha bein haprakim. Second shita says for the bracha you wait till afterwards. The bracha you could wait.
So according to the Alter Rebbe, I put it on Bein Haprakim, but to wait till after the Shemona Esrei is over
For the bracha.
to make the bracha.
Just for the
Got it.
talis, yeah.
Just for the talis.
Tefillin, in the middle of Krias Shema, you could put on with a bracha. Dalit, top of page Shav Ches. Le'inyan, Kaddish, Kedusha, or Baruch Hu Moedim. When it comes to these four, Mafsik,
What?
Afilu, Be'emsa HaPerek, Afilu, Be'emsa HaPosik. What's the raya? Shemafsik lishon pnei hayira lahasha pnei hakadosh basav adam. If we allow you to be shoyel, remember what's the din of emsa perek? Shoyel pnei hayira or meishe pnei hakavod, not for everyone. But pnei hakadosh basav adam. Kam chayim the kavod shakadosh baruch hu, kedusha baruch hu. Umitam zehu adin im shama koil re'emim yafsik yivarich. Very interesting halacha. If you hear thunder,
because the Yira.
very interesting.
Yeah,
In middle of the perek, if Shema, it's going to say what's the lusach? She'oisa ma'isa b'reisha keichei gvorasei b'aliyayim. Either one. It's either one. Shematzin k'moidim hey
Yeah.
yishcha v'yomer moidim anachnu loch v'lo yoyser. Shebazeh dai shliya nira kekoifer mi shechavein mishtach v'moidim lei. You don't have to say the whole nusach. Just say moidim anachnu loch. I'm moidim to you Hashem. You join with the whole community together. Even the Yom Elul Shema. Moidim anachnu loch. You bow with everyone and just say the first three words. You continue your Birchas Krias. Shemafsik lebaruch hu. Lo yomer rak baruch Hashem v'leich le'levav. V'lei nusach yisbarach yishtabach. I don't know this nusach. We she'nei l'minig. Feel the middle psuk of the zimei mafsikin loymri. I don't know this minig. There's certain communities kila say yisbarach yishtabach am baruch hu. I don't know. Huh?
Yeah, there's look in the arts over the paragraph.
The minig Ashkenaz.
Here's the fact, I've never seen it.
That they respond to Baruch Hu with also Yisbarach Yishtabach. Okay?
No.
Yeah.
Shemafsikim LeKaddish.
Yeah.
And so you're asking, Sikim LeKaddish. What parts of Kaddish can you be mafsik from Milk Krishma? Important halacha, every day it comes up.
Yeah.
Yoimer Amin Hishmiraba Ad Yisbarach Va'ad B'chal, including the word Yisbarach. V'yishma Me'ashich Tzibur Ad V'imr Amin. V'yana Amin. You should be quiet, and until the ending of that, where it says Aminam Ba'olma V'imr Amin, listen, don't answer Amin there, and he answer Amin on the ending. Ki yesh machloekes im chayev loimer kol hanusach yisbarach ve'elach. Chen in lahafsik v'mirasi v'mokum shas lahafsik. We learned earlier, in an earlier simon, that there is a machloekes if you need to say, you're chayev to say this whole nusach. Shtabach, yisbar, yisveim, yisnase, the whole nusach. Tzhada, v'sala, v'sala, shmei, the kutchavim. There's a shaila if you need to say it. Because there's a suffix, if it's a chiv to say it, l'chein ein lahafsik b'miraseh b'mokim she'asa lahafsik. Mikol mokim tevas yizbarech tzarech loimer mitam shenizbar sham. The word yizbarech you should say. You should not have to separate between yizbarech and the word prior. Mitiskabel ve'elach yanami ke'enei ela minig. From the skabel on, It's only a minig to say. It's not part of the Iker Kaddish, the Iker Nusach Kaddish. The Skabel, Sloisim, Usin, you don't answer any of the amens from then on.
You explain that, so
Yeah. V'kol sheken anoyegin, loim va'at yigel no, koidim shemascha shatis gadol, shemasik loim b'chamakim shos lafsik. Kitzer, when it comes to Kaddish, moidim anachalach. You bow in Kaddish, you only answer amen, Yehei Shmei Rabban Varach, Lol Ma'is Barach, and then you wait. You don't continue. You listen in until the Amiram Ba'al B'Amin. There's an Amin in between. You don't say.
ספרדים answering more.
זה מה שאני אומר, אני עונה
הכל.
5 אמנים.
אומרים את הכל.
אני אומר 5.
Right. Right.
לא,
No,
אני רגיל לענות 5 אמנים. כי אני יודע ששולחן ערוך מבין שצריך 5.
okay, אבל השאלה היא מפסיקים עבור כל החמש.
כן, אני עונה אמן הכל 5.
בברכת קישמה?
כן.
כן, יכול להיות שמחבר פוסק באופן אחר.
אני יודע שהרמה אומר 3 בדרך כלל, והשולחן ערוך מביא 5.
יכול להיות שיש חילוקי דינים, נכון? אני לא אומר שזה אמור עבור כולם. צריך לראות בפנים מה כתוב.
בדרך כלל אני עונה 5, זה מה שאני יודע. כל השאלה שלי זה אם אתה באמצע שמע, אתה יכול להפסיק נניח באמצע פסוק, לשמוע את 5 ולענות ולהמשיך הלאה, או שאני יכול להמשיך ולענות אותם בדרך. זה מה שאני
לא יודע. כאן הוא כותב שלא לענות, אבל יש לשמוע. עד אמין ואומה ומאמן.
ואז מה אתה, לפי מה שאומר...
לפי אלתר רבי, רק 2 אמינים. Only 2 amens you respond to.
איזה אמן יש מרבה?
Amen יש מרבה, and the ending of the קטע הראשון, נמירם באומה ואימרו אמן. ואימרו אמן. שכולם יגידו אמן. אז אומרים אמן. כל שער, זה... כל השער מתעסקה ואילך, זה בוודאי אין איקר קדש, זה רק מיניק. And even באמצע the first קטע, יש מחלוקס, if this is the איקר part of the נוסח, בגלל המחלוקס, האדמו"ר הזקן אומר שלא לענות, רק לשמוע, ולא לענות, בגלל המחלוקס בדבר. בקדושה, what should we do by קדושה? יאמר רק קודש וברך, ולא ימלוך. You're going to see, we don't hold this way, but Kedusha, the Alter Rebbe says, just Kodesh and Baruch, not Yimlech. Yimlech ein Emor HaMalachim. Vein Ikra Kedusha. We don't say, when we talk about the fan in the Chayis HaKodesh, we don't say Yimlech, we say Kodesh and Baruch. Yimlech is not part of the Kedusha that the Malachim say. V'yesh Misha Omer Shagam Yimlech Ikra Kedusha. V'ikr Kisvar Rishoyna. The Iker is like the Svari Shoina. However, the Alter Rebbe in the Siddur Paskin no, like the second opinion. In the Siddur, it was Chayzabai, you should answer Yimlech. And that's why we say Kadesh, Baruch, and Yimlech. Oladivi Hakom Nusach Shemaisifim B'Shabbos, Ein Nusach HaKedusha, Ve'ein Oimenoisim Mokim Sha'asal HaHafsik.
רק קדוש בעצם.
רק קודש ברך ימלך.
אבל לשמוע אתה כן שומע, אתה מפסיק לשמוע. זה רק אתה עונה, אבל אתה מפסיק לשמוע.
חיילה, אני לא יודע. חיילה, מה שעושים, מה שנראה שעושים, שמפסיקים לשמוע.
זה מה שאני גם יודע.
כן.
אתה שומע, אבל אתה עונה רק קדוש וימלך, ואתה שם אתה כן שומע, אתה לא ממשיך לשמוע.
סתם משום שכולם מחכים עבור הימלך וצריכים לעמוד, אז עם כולם, אני לא יודע, זה נראה, כאילו אתה מפריד לעצמכם בכולם אולי. אני לא יודע אם זה מדין. לא יודע אם זה מדינה.
כן?
אני לא יודע. Maybe you shouldn't be mafsik between Kadosh Baruch Yimlech. Maybe between Baruch and Yimlech ain't mafsik b'dibur. B'chet kishma. L'chein ain't mafsikim. לא בגלל החיוב לשמוע. אני לא יודע אם יש חיוב לשמוע את הנוסח שמוסיפים. אני לא יודע.
אני גם לא יודע.
על ברכת התורה, יענה ברוך השם המברך אלוהים, וגם אמין אחר ניסן התורה, שברכה זו היא גם כי כמו ידוע שבקדושה הרי אין נמלס על קריאס הספר תורה, שקוראים בעשרה. anything that you need asara, ein emim davar shebkedusha ela ba'asara. You need 10 people. So davar shebkedusha. Va'ache shabraches ein oinen amin bekishim becheseh afilu bein haprakim chutz min bein amin min amin shoyin ache becheseh kel hakadosh amin shache shmei tefila sheyesh lom din davar shebkedusha oinen oisen afilu be'emsa perek like everything else.
Awesome.
You see this all today in the Sidurim. They have in the Chabad Sidurim. They have in the back a luach.
When mafsik, when no
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Every. Oh, this one.
Well, so far we good.
With the loach.
I didn't go through every single one.
So Bekitzer,
The Yimlich party.
Bekitzer on 1 foot. Kedusha Baruch Hu, you answer Baruch Hu. You answer Kaddish Baruch Yimlech and the Amen of Akel Kaddish. There's only one more Amen in Shmones you answer for Chazal Shatz, the Shmei Tefillah. In Kaddish you answer Amen, 2 Amens, Amen Heshmerabba Ad Teis Baruch, and then Damina Ma'alma Vimra Amen, and then you listen in between in the first part. Second half you're not, it's a minig, you know, mafsik, it's also to mafsik. Moedim Anachalach, only the first 3 words, and Yeshoicha and Birchas HaTorah you can answer, and
Also, Amen.
you're allowed, you have a chiv to say by Koil Re'imim, you have to mafsik. We saw for,
So basically, whatever it said by 10 people, you're allowed to offset, so to say.
yeah.
That's the idea. So let's say Alel and
But you don't, it doesn't, but you see, the whole Chazar Sashat you don't answer.
But I'm saying, basically what he's concluding, מה שעשרה אתה יכול לענות. אז הלל, וקריאת המגילה, וכל מה שקשור לדבר שיש בו עשרה, אתה כן יכול לענות.
אז זה לא חיוב. יש אם ברוב המהדס מלך, אבל זה לא חיוב. אתה יכול להגיד הלאה בלי מניין.
כן, אבל הוא אומר גם ספר תורה.
זה אתה לא, אין קודם, אלו שקודם בעשרה.
כן.
שרק בעשרה. דווקא בעשרה.
אפילו אם קוראים לך לעלות
רבי say, מה ידע?
אפילו אם קוראים לך לעלות בתורה בקריאת שמע, אתה עולה.
כן?
ומפסיק ועוד.
אתה לא אומר את השם של אבא שלך, אתה עולה.
אם הוא אמר את השם. אם הוא אמר את השם של אבא, אתה לא חייב.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
If you're around the corner, you could, we need a minion.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining everyone. And Shekayach.
חסר אחד.